Hi, I'm Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis in Toronto, Canada. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I approach the fear of public speaking, the fear of flying, the fear of insects, just as 3 examples of fears I might work with. If you have a unique fear that I haven't mentioned, chances are I already have a solution, I already have a plan, but for this video I've chosen some of the more common fears that people have. Whenever I'm designing a session for clients, I think in terms of the attitudes the client needs to fully embrace such that they can be in the situations they're in and be fearless. They'll usually come in with the attitude that whatever the situation is, that they're somehow in danger, that somehow they are not safe, that somehow they're taking a huge risk by stepping on stage or stepping into a plane. And that's the attitude that we want to change. So the first message is that your fears have usually misled you in the past. That if you indulged too much into the idea that public speaking is scary, that you would create a self-fulfilling prophecy where you are more anxious and more nervous than you need to be when you do a presentation. Unlike many mental health professionals, I don't really ask many questions or care very much about the fear itself or where it might have come from. I'm much more interested in what attitudes and beliefs and perceptions you need to adopt to be unafraid in the situations that you're in. Just to very briefly summarize some of the attitudes that I'll want the client to adopt for specific fears. For public speaking, it's the idea that they are the authority. They are the expert in the room. They have become the teacher and they are no longer the student. Also, everybody has gathered to sit at their feet and hear them speak. Also, everybody's on the same side. Nobody is there to heckle them. Nobody is there to give them a hard time. And instead, everybody is there so that they can hear you speak and they can learn from what you have to say. Another attitude for the fear of public speaking is that they can be preemptively forgiving of any mistakes that they make. And the only fair prediction to make is they'll get up, they'll communicate effectively, they'll see appreciation from their audience, and they'll sit down. That's the only fair prediction to make about what's going to happen the next time they present. So that cluster of suggestions, of course, is just a very brief summary, but in sessions I expand upon that. For the fear of flying, the attitudes I want the client to adopt, again, are first, that the fear of flying has misled them time and time and time again, and in fact, airplanes are safe. Also, it's the idea that when the plane is in turbulent air, it's not floating on nothing. Air is invisible, but air is also a substance. And the plane is floating on a substance. I mean, if I wave my hand in the air like this, I can feel the air. It's tangible. And a plane flying as fast as it does will have lift. And the cushion of air is so large that even if the plane drops by 10 feet, 20 feet, 50 feet, there's still a massive cushion of air underneath the plane. Another attitude is that every time they've ever stepped on a plane, at the end it's landed safely, the door is opened, and they stepped off to continue with their day. All the worries, all the fears, all the anxieties turned out to have been useless at the end. It would have been a mistake to entertain them. And for something like the fear of insects, there might be 2 contradictory attitudes that the client tells me they want to adopt. So one attitude is the idea that they are cohabiting on this planet or in their home with insects or with arachnids and with other critters that also live on this planet with us, and that we can all live in harmony. A contradictory attitude that can also be beneficial is that you, as the client, are more dangerous to the insects around you than the insects are dangerous toward you. And you are the bigger one, you are the smarter one, you are the one who can go to the store and buy a can of Raid, and that, if anything, insects should be afraid of you. So these are 2 attitudes that are empowering when you have a fear of insects. They are contradictory, so you as the client would have to choose one of these 2, and then I would expand upon that. In this video, I've given you a few examples of fears that people often present here in this office, and I've given you a few examples of some counterpoints, some attitudes I want my clients to adopt so that they can be comfortable in the situations that they're in. Obviously, everybody is an individual. Obviously, there are details that differ from person to person, but this should give you a good idea of the messaging that I want the client to hear during the sessions that I do with them. To take the next step forward, if you haven't already, watch the other videos on this YouTube channel, especially the one titled Can You Be Hypnotized? Because that has a self-assessment that you can do at home to see how suggestible you are. Once you're ready to proceed with sessions, you can call my office at 416-556-4068, or you can visit our website at www.morpheusclinic.com for more information. Once again, I'm Luke Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis in Toronto, Canada, where we make hypnosis make sense.